The scent was less of a thing and more of an emotion.
Utter terror?
Seduction.
Close enough. Are you ready?
Are we ever?
No. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
I'm Noobs Maximus.
I'm Cryptic Enigma.
And she is making me play The Monster Inside.
It is an audio-visual novella.
Okay. See, I know nothing about this. All I know is we were looking for a game to play today. She's like, oh, you have to play this one. You have to play this one. It's like, why do I have to play it? And I didn't get an answer.
He'll probably tell me why when he figures it out.
So, here we go.
My head pounded, ears still ringing slightly. Some of the worst nightmares I'd have had in years left me feeling like I'd been punched in the jaw. But just like any other day, I dragged myself to the office.
Sounds like just about every morning for me.
There was another notice on the door from the Mayor Vignette's office. Vignetti, permits out of date. They didn't like me much and were trying to drown me in paperwork. It was a slow month, weeks since I'd had any real case to work on, so I passed the time pacing the office, smoking and staring at the mirror in the corner, safely covered with an old bedsheet. I don't dare look at my own reflection. I'm too afraid of what I might see. Afraid someday I might have to face what I really am.
I am enjoying getting, story time here.
The girl came in so quiet, I nearly choked on my cigarette.
You're not supposed to swallow those, dude.
Mister, please, you gotta help me, mister. Okay, I'll let you choose what option.
Alright, now see, here's the thing. Do I play this like I would? Because I'm a decent, nice, gentle person. Or do I play this like the prick that I'd like to be?
But she's a damsel in distress and you're a private eye.
Is that what this is?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well then, I gotta sort of channel my inner Dixon Hill here, which has an awful impression.
Oh, yeah.
That one. You're up.
Please, no one else will listen to me. Go on.
I wonder what choice I should choose.
She eyed me with just a dash of suspicion as I tossed back a hand full of pills and chased them back with a squeak of whiskey.
Don't do that.
I could tell this might take a while. Her name was Lily.
Isn't it always?
She told me she was his mistress, the man all over the newspapers, the infamous banker, Mr. Reginald Farnsworth.
Now, I hear the word mistress, and I don't immediately think of guy cheating on his wife. I think of whoopsh. So,
Well... Mr. Farnsworth was a drunk, philandering bastard, but this girl seemed genuinely concerned that he had recently gone missing.
Aww.
Less concerned about the fact that Mr. Farnsworth's wife had just turned up dead in Central Park 2 nights ago.
That doesn't look good.
Lily, you don't understand. He just couldn't have done it. He hated his wife, but he couldn't have killed her. Everyone thinks it was him, and no one believes me. He's gotten into trouble. Gotta be in trouble.
Alright. I ain't saying I believe you, but what makes you think he's in danger? These accents are terrible for me today.
Horrible. Well, Mr.
Jack. You can call me Jack. Of course it's Jack.
Jack, whoever did that to his wife must have been the one who took him. He would have never left without me. He promised me.
Yeah, because that's never happened.
No, never. I'm sure Mr. Farnsworth promised this poor girl a lot of things.
The moon, the River Nile.
Yeah. Please, the cops won't listen to me and they want to bring him in on charges. You gotta prove it wasn't him before they find him.
My turn.
Yeah.
Honestly, I doubt they're in too much of a hurry.
Farnsworth had practically the entire police force work in his deep pockets, probably why they hadn't found much yet. If they had found him and brought him in, it would be due to public pressure. Sometimes a mob with pitchforks is more dangerous than one man with money.
Yes, that's usually how things change. Alright, we have, you've got my curiosity, but you might not like what I find, or I can help you, we'll get to the bottom of it, don't you worry now. I'm going to go with the first one.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Jack, thank you, but please, be careful. I don't think that this was just any murderer or kidnapper. I think it was
Alien abduction?
a beast.
A beast. What'd you get me into? I love the little, I don't know if you saw the eyebrow waggle that she gave me. You're
beast. Up. The word struck me funny. Like when you jar your elbow on a hard corner. Hit the funny bone.
I caught that.
Not a word many use these days, except in hush whispered and bedtime stories for children. Oh, they were real enough, all right. They just got better at hiding, controlling their unseemly urges. But I hadn't seen any monsters. Oh dear God!
Yeah, you really mangled that one.
In nearly 15 years, back when I was still a cop myself.
Oh, is this Special Unit 2? Which, by the way, find Special Unit 2 on YouTube. You will enjoy it. Well, that's definitely an interesting theory. Or I can help you. We'll get to the bottom of it. Don't. Wow, and I'm giving her crap for not being able to read. Don't you worry now. Leave the detective to work to me. Let's not jump to conclusions here. I'm going to go with the first one, followed by, here's your pills, you're off your medication.
I just have a feeling about it. Something tells me you can get to the bottom of it. You're good at this sort of thing.
Sure. Can't you see how busy I am with cases?
I replied a little too harshly. Sarcasm wasn't my strong suit.
It is mine.
Yeah, it is, actually. I reassured her some more and sent her on her way. I didn't want to scare her, but I warned her before she left to keep her doors locked and call me if she saw anything suspicious.
That's usually good advice no matter what's going on.
Yeah, I didn't know if she was in any danger herself, but better safe than sorry.
Yeah, she's in danger.
That night, I made my way to Central Park. It was a long shot, but there may be something there that the cops had missed.
You missed a word.
Maybe there was something there.
No. That wasn't the word you missed.
I think I read that. I don't know. Whatever. The scene was already picked clean by the cops days ago, but I've got a knack for finding things others overlook.
It's because you're a vampire.
All
right.
A knack, more of a symptom of a condition.
Yep.
Other, less useful symptoms I keep in check, but for the time being, my keen sense of smell would come in handy.
Either that or he's a werewolf. I'm leaning towards werewolf because of sense of smell.
Sense of smell, yeah. It was faint, but I could smell it before I even approached the police line. Wow.
Where the heck did you get fenced?
I don't know. The scent was less of a thing and more of an emotion.
Utter terror?
Seduction.
Close enough.
He might be a vampire if he smells seduction. A strangely familiar smell. I expected the scent of trepidation or maybe outright fear, but Mrs. Farnsworth seemed to have been caught at the height of pleasure when she left this world.
Best way to go.
Yep. Brought new meaning to a crime of passion.
Womp womp.
Pushing the thought out from my mind, it was time to get down to business.
That's what she was doing.
We're going to have to rate this mature, you know.
Yep.
Investigate the scene. Muddy footprints everywhere. Difficult to pick out anything from the prints the cops left behind in their haste.
You see here.
But the cops don't wear $2,000 pairs of carquinos.
Well, that depends on exactly how many people's payrolls are on.
Yeah. It looked like Mr. Farnsworth was there that night and walked away on his own 2 feet.
Well, that's good.
Investigate the scene.
Ooh, it was Wolverine.
Looks like it. A burn mark on a nearby tree caught my eye. I ran my fingers along its length and felt a chill down my spine.
And don't do that.
This wasn't just any burn mark. This was a mark of an ancient magic. It's doubtful the cops would have picked up on it. Could Lily have been right? Something unnatural was at play here?
Ya think? This guy's a great detective. I love him.
But I was no stranger to the strange.
There's a doctor for that.
After looking around for a while longer, I realized the park had given up all it was hiding from me, so I trudged back to my apartment, and my head hit the pillow like it owed me money. I like that line.
Yeah, I like these lines out of these old books.
My head hit the pillow like it owed me money. That one's great. I'm going to have to use that one, I think.
Yeah, I really did like that one.
The next morning, I was reeling from another bout of ghoulish nightmares, but I tried to hide my discomfort when I saw Lily was already sitting outside my office.
She could put a chair out there.
She waited wordlessly as I unlocked the door and ripped down another notice from the mayor's office. I motioned for her to step inside. Seemingly afraid of what I might say, she finally worked up the courage to ask.
Did you find anything?
So, what did you find? Yes! You're so close!
Let's see. I'm going to go with, well, I've got some good news. Farnsworth might still be alive. I feel like I should have like a toothpick or something for this.
Lollipop.
Oh, that'd be better.
I probably shouldn't have given her false hope like that, but she seemed like she needed something to hold on to right then. She didn't need to know about the marks on the tree.
Sure she did.
Nah. How do you know that? Where is he?
Mars. There were signs he was at the scene and slipped away. I don't even have the faintest idea what accents I'm using now.
My tone was indifferent towards her, and I turned and grabbed a bottle from my desk drawer. A dryness in my mouth made it difficult to swallow my meds.
Yeah.
But you don't know where he went? Do you think the news this morning is related?
Yeah, why don't you get on all fours and sniff him out? What news is that? I see you're up on current events.
Haven't you heard?
Unnecessary questions. Nope, rough night followed by a rough morning.
Well, that would be pretty accurate. They found the police chief's wife dead down by the docks. They say it happened last night.
Yeah. Was it in the throes of passion?
We will find out. Let me guess, Chief Amato is missing too.
Well, wouldn't you be?
My face might have betrayed a hint of satisfaction as she confirmed my suspicions, but it faded quickly. Amato was a cop and a shit chief.
And we're gonna have to Blake? We're gonna have to break out the bleeper.
He was half the reason I left the force. We're also gonna have to mark this mature. But now his wife was dead, and I had more questions than I did the day before.
No fault to mark it mature. Just yet.
The gears in my head started to spin, which wasn't helped by the splitting pain at my temples. I told Lily I needed time to work, and she left slightly dejected, wanting more answers than I could provide.
It was one day!
I know, right? Expecting results too quickly. That night, after the cops had cleared off the docks, I would slip down and see what I could uncover concerning Mrs. Amato's untimely demise. Next chapter. We're going through chapters quick. The cold air smelled strongly of salt and oil, and... could it be? That smell again, like someone had bottled pure arousal and used it as perfume. I almost said aerosol.
I think that's called Axe body spray.
I almost said aerosol again. It hit me like a long-forgotten memory. But the sensual fumes soon gave way to a rush of adrenaline. I knew exactly what the scent reminded me of, and that scared me more than not knowing. Oh boy. I looked down at my hands, shaking. The nightmares, the headaches. No, I was better now. Reformed. I had to focus, no jumping to conclusions. Follow the evidence.
Off a cliff. Investigate the scene. Ooh. Bugs! There are bugs by the lamp.
That
and
is
that
awesome.
is what has seriously got me here, is that there are bugs by the lamp.
It is a wonderful art style, honestly.
Yeah, this almost feels like we're watching like an old black and white detective film.
Yeah. There, just there, the smallest piece of purple fabric, torn and caught and splintered of a board. The police report didn't say anything about Mrs. Amato wearing purple, and it was certainly of a quality that you wouldn't expect down here. Don't see too many high society types around flaunting royal purple threads.
Oh, why not?
Investigate the scene.
In purple, I'm stunning.
Red Phoenix cigarette, same shitty brand I smoke every day. Everybody's got their vice. I pulled out my own pack of reds and lit up. I could already feel another headache coming on, but looking over the waves seemed to help me forget.
Oh.
The cold helped me push down the uncomfortable thoughts that had been bubbling to the top of my brain. Poor dude. I honestly don't remember the walk back to the office. Apparently I spent the night in my easy chair. The air from the docks lingered on my clothes.
Could be good or bad.
It was still dark out. No, I checked the clock. How long had I been out? Had I really slept through the entire day?
Tired next day.
Well, the newspaper was sitting under the door. As I stood to fetch it, it nearly fell out over. A wave of nausea hit me like a ton of bricks. I steadied myself and regained my composure. Before I even picked up the paper, I could already read the headline. Breaking: Mayor missing, wife found dead. Another one. 2 cases is a coincidence. 3 is a pattern.
2 cases like this is a pattern, dude.
Yeah.
That's...
Yeah, especially when it's your police chief and your mayor. And who was the first one?
A rich guy.
A rich guy.
A super rich guy.
The cops would come asking questions soon. They knew I had a history of antagonizing all the victims. Yep. I stumbled to my desk and slammed back 3 days' worth of inhibitor pills. I couldn't take any chances. I had to investigate the scene to be sure.
For the record, don't do that with pills.
No.
That's not how they work.
Only take your own dose. I threw on my jacket and went to the door. Lily caught me off guard in the other side.
She's doing it. Yep.
Jack, where are you off to? I've been trying to reach you all day.
I'm sorry, Lily, but I don't have time to talk. I have to go.
Okay, but we need to talk when you get back. Stay safe.
That was easy.
She gave me a soft kiss on the cheek as I rushed off. Part of me wanted to stay and tell her it would be okay, but it would be a lie.
Yeah, no, don't get into that one.
The alleyway was located just behind the high-rise apartment where Mayor Vignetti and his wife lived. I could tell the police were spooked now. The crime scene was even sloppier than the last.
That's always good. It's raining. That's lovely.
Isn't that gorgeous? And there's still bugs along the light.
I see it.
They hadn't even bothered to submit the trash into evidence.
Ooh, well.
Investigate the scene.
Dumpster diving it is. Trying to see what all is here that I can look at. There isn't much. You only get like 2 options, and it seems like you have to look at both.
Mm-hmm. Why wouldn't they at least look through the dumpster? It seemed untouched. Nobody wanted to do the dirty work. But I knew how to find the good stuff. It really doesn't take long if you know what to look for. Lightweight bags usually mean someone was dumping documents. If you're lucky, they didn't bother to shred them. Jackpot. Shell companies, shady stock trades, bribes. I knew the Mayor Vignetti was crooked, but this was unbelievable. And there was more. Letters between Mayor Vignetti and Chief Amato talking about me? How they were trying to get me shut down. They didn't like me snooping around crime scenes all the time. Well, they weren't here to stop me snooping around this one. Investigate scene.
Alright, so we got the car door.
Vignett's car. If he's still alive, why wouldn't he have left in his car? It didn't make any sense. Shut up. I honestly wasn't too motivated to find him, but the stakes were too high, and my bet was edging towards the unthinkable. As I searched around for anything that might
Massage.
I don't think that's quite why. My fears. I caught the scent again.
Nope, that's right.
Sorry, a little too big for me right now.
It's been a rough week for her, so.
Yeah, I went to another funeral, so that was 2 months. It overwhelmed my other senses with undulating pleasure. It was intoxicating. A weapon used on the weak-willed, a weapon I knew all too well, though it had been many years since I had used it. Was there another like me? Was I being framed?
Probably the second. And the first.
It wasn't possible, was it?
Of course it was.
I was taking my inhibitors. I was reformed.
Somebody else ain't. Or
But
you're
the
having
nightmares,
blackouts.
the headaches, the memory lapses.
Yeah, you're having blackouts.
I couldn't even trust myself. I started walking back out the alley when something shiny caught my eye. A watch. Not just any watch, though. My watch. How long had my wrist been bare? Surely I dropped it when I first came down the alley. I checked the time just before I left the office, hadn't I? Or had I used the wall clock? I couldn't be sure. Okay. I couldn't be sure of anything. So I ran.
Into a tree.
Next chapter. I don't know why I ran back to the office. The cops would probably show up any minute to knock the door down and cart me away. They would put it together before long. Maybe it would be best for everyone if I simply faced my own reflection.
Well, you could also leave the door unlocked, dude.
Yeah. But Lily was still there waiting for me. That crazy woman. Jack, what's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost.
No, a succubi.
Well, if he's male, it'd be an incubus.
That's true, too.
My own ghost.
It's my turn to read.
Sorry.
My own ghost. Come back to haunt me from the past. See? Yeah. Now it's your turn.
You're not making any sense, Jack. Come sit down.
You don't understand. You're not safe around me.
What is with that accent? Dear God.
I know what I'm trying to do. I'm just not doing it.
I took a good last look at her, and I prepared to shove her out the door. I noticed she was wearing the same thing she had worn she first came to my office 3 days ago. A beautiful purple dress.
Told you. I know what's going on here.
Odd that I hadn't really noticed before, but it made her seem out of place. Out of time.
Ooh.
And it was frayed around the edges, torn in places.
Alright, so here's my theory before we go forward. I've not seen anything with this. She has. I've not seen anything. I'm just putting English
Theory out.
Thank you. A theory out. She is some sort of succubus, bow chicka bow wow, ancient vampire, seductress, whatever, who is seducing these guys' husbands to kill their wives to frame him. It's my theory. We'll see. I'm usually flip a coin as to whether or not I'm right. We'll see.
My chair caught my fall as my knees failed me.
You should sit down before then, dude. It was you. You're the monster. Succubus. I'm good.
Oh, Jack. We are one and the same, you and I. We are both monsters. I simply am more honest with myself. There's no such thing as reformation. Those pills you take only make you dull. Beasts like us should never suppress our true natures as you have, Incubus. Those men were probably dead too now. I figured. She probably took them to her lair and harvested their seed.
Definitely got to label this one as mature.
Uh-huh.
So, you've done all this just to wake me up. Coffee works too, dude.
You could say that, though it seemed enough just to have you doubt yourself. You believed that you were still capable of such horrors, which means deep down you probably are. You can't escape it now. Now I need you to complete the deed.
You took my watch, messed with my head. That is what women do. Just accept it.
We don't take watches.
No, it's the second one.
I had to throw that out there. We don't take watches.
Prove it. The second one.
Hey now.
You're up.
Oh, don't act like that. I didn't do you a favor. Those men hated you and wanted you gone.
No, you mangled that one.
Oh, don't act like I didn't do you a favor. Those men hated you and wanted you gone. And now they are gone.
Better.
I mustered the strength to stand again, moving casually to the window by the corner.
Jump! Don't jump.
She was right about one thing. I was dull, weak compared to her. If I refused her and she attacked me, I was a dead man. I had to keep her talking.
So you can pull out the stake. I've never met a succubus who seduces and kills women. Gonna leave that one alone.
Oh, please. Such a 14th century stereotype. I don't discriminate when it comes to pleasure of the flesh.
Didn't have to say a thing.
Mature.
Yeah.
But I do still need an incubus like yourself to take the tainted seed I've harvested from those awful men and planted among the fertile masses for me.
Oh my god! How? What exactly is your plan for that? Oh my god. Please don't explain it in the comments.
I'm tired of draining lovers just to survive. I'm ready to settle down and start a family. Did I miss a ha?
I don't know.
That maniacal laughter. I positioned myself carefully, making sure she was looking my direction.
Always a good idea if you're gonna shoot her.
Sorry, but I'm not your guy.
That's my line!
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, but that's not my... Oh, damn it.
Don't use that accent!
It's not only the accent, but I mangled the line. I mangled what I'm reading with what I just said. Sorry, but I'm not your guy.
With a flick of my wrist, I whipped the old bedsheet off of the corner mirror.
What
in the heck?
Yeah, my voice don't do that.
Lily was blinded by her own reflection and sucked into the mirror with a painful, monstrous scream. Trapped.
Well, that's a legend I hadn't heard.
Shielding my own eyes, I pulled a revolver from my desk side drawer, aimed it at the mirror.
Bye-bye.
And fired.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
I liked that. I wasn't expecting animation with that.
Well, when he pulled off the bed sheets, the sheet disappeared too.
Yeah, but it was instant. It wasn't a graphic.
Story and programming by Tyler Owen.
Okay.
That was a fun little short little
Yeah,
thing.
that was very easy, very short. It was well written. It was well thought out.
And it was a very nice. The graphics I loved.
Yeah,
They were. It was
simple. They were simple,
like,
but they fit the time period of the movies that they were going for.
Yeah, and like the little smoke effect for his like cigarettes was really nice. And it was like very subtle animations and like a still frame. It was really, really cool.
Yeah,
I really liked it.
Yeah, I rather enjoyed that. If you're not familiar with the genre that they're doing, look up Cary Grant on YouTube, and essentially every movie that man did is what they're parodying here. There was a whole bunch of others, but he was one that was really good at them. And I know why she picked this. I have a thing for monsters and different
Genres, yeah.
different genres and things like that. But
like werewolves,
yeah, what are called cryptids? Although those are extreme versions of cryptids. So when it went into beasts, it was like, all right, I know what she's picking at here. And I get to sit down and figure out exactly what this stuff is. But this was...
I am sure that as soon as we stop the camera, I'm going to get smacked. So
Possibly. But yeah, no, that was a good game. It was very well written. It was extremely well thought out. There's no real skill to it. It's more like sitting down and just watching a story, and that was...
Yeah, it was an audiovisual novella, so those are kind of more... They're less interactive and more storytelling, which is, kind of fun to do.
I'd never heard of them, but it was a good game to do. So, give it a try. Trying Trying to think of something to get you guys to do in the comments.
And there were 2 other options for different things that the same group did, so they might be fun to do too.
Ooh, that's a good one. When you get to the point in the video where I put out what I thought it was, pause the video, comment on what you think it is.
Or like, if you had watched our entire thing, what you thought it was during our thing, because I had thought he was a werewolf. The detective was a werewolf through the entire thing because of his sense of smell.
Yeah.
I hadn't even thought of the vampire thing because they would have heightened smell too, but...
Yeah, so...
And when I saw the slash marks, I thought it was like an actual claw instead of,
you know,
magic.
They never really figured out what that was, but... That's,
it was a burn mark.
I know it was a burn mark, but...
It's like the hell flames that are around
Oh, okay.
them.
Well...
Kind of thing.
Yeah, give us a little note of what you think it is in the comment, and then see how close you get.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, if you've already read through the game, then that's cheating, and don't do that.
But, you could tell us what your theories were until you knew.
Yeah. I wasn't quite right. I was half right, but I wasn't
very
quite
close.
Right,
you didn't realize that she would be a less traditional with her lovers.
Well, given the time period, I wasn't expecting it, but...
Yeah.
So, alright, well, thank you guys so much for watching. Play the game, give it a shot. Good luck. Have fun.
Yep.
Bye-bye.